Good morning. How are you this morning? Want your breakfast? You want your breakfast? Good boys. Are you ready for your grooming? Come here, buddy. Come on, let's go. Come on. Good fella. Come on. Come on. Oh, don't you give me flowers. Wait. I'm not going out yet. Good boy. You good boy? Good boy. So, why don't you step up? Step up. Good boy. Over. Over. Good boy. Your front over. Front. Yes. Over. Are you itchy this morning? Good boy. Good boy. Are you the prettiest? Whenever he gets upset, go to his face until he relaxes. So we know what he likes. So when he really gets into that, then go back to whatever was bothering you. But retrace your steps every single time. way to every spot, keeping some contact with him constantly. You take your hand away and bring it back, you'll surprise him and he'll surprise you. So I have some kind of contact all the time. Good boy. Go from one side to the other, let them know you're coming. That's a good boy. I spent a lot of time on this girth area, because that's where he was really touchy. You're a good boy. Move over. Move your front end. Good boy. Step at a time. Rub to the spot. Move your back end. Wait. Not to rub. Good boy. You went a little too far. Let's put you back. Let's put you back, because every time we move you, you learn something. That's it. Good boy. That's it. I don't ever want any pressure on this. I like that hanging flat. That's a good boy. Now you back up. See if we're still in the picture. Let's back up. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Let me step over this way. Over. Good boy. Right there. That's perfect. I don't ever recommend that you go under his chin. I do it, but I don't recommend it. Now he likes this side here. It's been itchy for some reason. And so he actually started chewing on this the other day because he wanted to groom me. So if he does something bizarre, that's what's happening. So I keep my hand nice and tight on his withers when I go somewhere where I know he's going to be uncomfortable, or might be. Now I'm going at a pretty good clip. You wouldn't want to start this way because he's not used to you doing it. Your touch will be different. So I slow down the scary spots. I'm really getting his hind leg good here. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Good boy. If it falls apart, go back to the beginning. Retrace your steps. He's a long way away from being able to just jump in and start anywhere. Right, buddy? Have my hand on his withers. Use his feet. Aren't always 100%. Follows over his back, my elbow's touching him, my hand is touching him. Good boy. Switching my hands, get to the inside of the leg. My hand is on his hock. Now, I do a lot of exaggerating from one side to the other, like, you know, stuff like this, and it still scares him a little bit. But, like, instead of creeping up his face now, I'm trying to cross from one eye to the other more, and things like that. We've done a little bit with his ears. Such a good boy. Put your head down there and wait until he relaxes again. Oh, we messed your hair up. So like this stuff here, I'm, you know, not pussyfooting anymore because I want him to see my hand from both sides. And the same when I was haltering him, you know, I come out like this and I stick my hand out here, and you know, I just wait until something changes in him, he relaxes. That's a good boy. A good boy. So if you find a sticky spot, just think about it and then work your way back to it. That's it. He's still a little apprehensive around his butt. And although I switch from side to side with my hands and stuff, I still don't walk behind him. He may never be safe enough to do some things. But then again, he might. But always err on the side of caution, because although less and less bothers him, his reaction time is still the same when he does, which is pretty quick. He's farting and got a leg cocked, so he's pretty good with this stuff. Now, even though I don't have to, I just go from one side to the other. I want to be able to do all this stuff. You see him switch legs, cock a leg. Now, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but I'm kind of pulling my tail off to the side. Really nice long strokes. So I do a little more and a little more each time. And now what I've been doing is I just want to make sure I go over his whole body. Try to find places that he thought I wanted him to pick it up, that's all. So, kind of fine. I go right up to his sheath. Yes. He's still tight here, so I just keep retreating. Retrace my steps. Go to the sheath. He actually has a spot there that he likes scratched. So when the bugs start biting him this year, you can work your way up there. So I keep this hand on him all the time. The other thing I just thought about was, what if now I have a hand on him all the time and my hand is slipping behind here. That's a good boy. And then I slip this hand in, keeping the other one on, nice and rhythmic, and then pretty soon I can meet my hands, go down his leg. That's a good boy. He's relaxing now. So the other thing I just started to do yesterday was to kind of work on his tail a little bit, because he didn't like me. I'm right in the crack now. And my fingers are just sliding in there. And then I lift the tail. Good boy. So, if you ever had to take his temperature, so you should do these things all the time, every day. Because if you don't, someday he's going to get sick, and you're not going to be able to do this. You want to be able to take his temperature. I've just had my finger in there. So you got to work your way to it to loosen him. He's just not automatically going to be there. Good boy. That's a good boy. So, there we go. Good boy. So, and I can kind of go to the other side. When I flip his tail, I want him to see it on both sides. That's a good boy.
You're just the best fella.
You're just the best fella, aren't you? You're my best boy. Crappy eye. Oh, crappy eye. And so don't assume, don't go right to any spots. Just start at the beginning. And if he tries to pick his leg up, let go of the back and go to the front. Because, see, he just thinks I want it. So what I do is I kind of speed up a little bit and something to tell him that's not, I don't want him to pick it up. Because you don't want him to pick it up every time. Now I'm going over every inch of his body here, the whole girth area. Right down to here. Right now, right in front of his penis. I handle the sheath. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm working my way down into the crack. Very good boy. And I rock him sometimes, put a little rhythm in this. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. You're a good boy. Yeah. I worry more about taking my hand away from him on the other side because I don't know what he sees. That's a good boy. So he's nice and relaxed. That's a good boy. You're the bestest boy. The other thing, if you come to his face, if he gets a little tight, spend a little time here doing what he likes. And if he hasn't licked and chewed like this, then just put your fingers in there and massage his gums. I'm massaging his bars, and I go under his ear, massage up in here. Yes, good boy. Yes. So and then touch his tongue, so he'll chew a little bit. That's a good boy. And then his feet. He's ready. Start right here, rub his jugular. Now I go to the inside, say up. I'm not doing anything. He hands me his foot, and I clean it out. Now if he, and every once in a while, he'll never hold his foot away, but he'll ask for his foot back. You just Hold it firmer, say wait, rub here, and then just go back to what you were doing. That's a good boy. When I'm ready to put it down, I say, okay, whoopsie. Now usually he waits for me to put it down. So I'm just gonna pick that up again. Come up. Come up. One more foot. There. It's best when he's unbalanced like that, you ask for it, let him balance himself. Up. That's a good boy. And now when I want to put it down, I stroke and put it down. That's a good boy. Now when I go to the back, you wait for him to relax and prepare himself. That's a good boy. I go down, I say up. Now I've got my hand here, I touch him on the hock, squeeze it a little bit if he doesn't. There, see how we relax that? He's ready, up. Pick it up. Good boy. Up. I don't pick it up. I wait. Pick it up. Come on, pick it up. There. Pick it up. Good boy. Come on. Up. Up. Come on. I can't. Well, you're too heavy. I cannot pick that up. Get up. There. Buddy. Believe it or not, this is the first time he has not picked his foot up. Pick it up. Up. So I'm just irritating him here a little bit. Get up. Good boy. What you balls on? Yeah, good. Get up. Good boy. Get up. Get up. Hey, hey, don't push on me. Come up. Come up. We worked very hard on that foot. Now let's go. That's a good boy. Get up. Good boy. Pick it up. That's a good boy. Good for you. There. Pick it up. So he has to bounce there. Good boy. Come on, pick it up. 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 There. Good boy. That's a good boy. Is that right? Okay. That's good. We got a lot of crap in there this morning. Good boy. That's it. You're a good fella. Did you have a little brain fart this morning? Did you have a brain fart? Or do I have energy in my body? Because I'm on camera. I'm sorry. Can you step over for me? Okay, okay. Over. Good boy. I'm just asking to do that because I don't want to be up against the wall. Good boy. Touch his chestnut lightly, say up. Wait for his foot, he hands it to you. I'm kind of glad he did that on the other foot because you would see what I would do. One thing, he was getting a little jumpy one day and I couldn't figure out why. There's always a reason. Don't always figure it out, but. And when I was taking the mud out, it was flying up and hitting his belly. And I didn't realize it. Okay, he's not prepared. You know, maybe it's because I'm talking and usually I don't. So I'm gonna shut up. Good boy. Up. Good. See him shift his weight. Yeah, good boy. That's it. Pick it up. Pick it up. Good. Bring it in. Pick it up. That's it. Pick it up. Pick it up. That's a good boy. Come on. That's it. There. Easy. Stroke it. Hold the toe. Stroke. Not be heavy. It's high. So I make little circles to relax them. And I have put my knee behind him. I don't always. I'm rubbing his cannon bone, but you probably won't want to do that. Just hold his foot. Clean it. You're a little unbalanced somewhere. He's unbalanced somehow. He's having a little trouble standing. That's a good boy. There, he's relaxing now. There. Good boy. You got beautiful feet. A little crappy, but that's a good boy. Switch hands, hold the toe. My hand just caught on his chestnut. My glove. That's it. Get up. Wait. So when he starts to pull, I just pressure, wait, release. That's it. A lot of rubbing. He's got might be what do you call that stuff? There's a little, maybe he's just got a scratch, but I feel a little scab right here. A little high for rain rot or whatever stuff is. That's a good boy. No, you didn't stay in one spot very well, did you? But that's probably the worst he's ever been. So that's all you have to deal with. Alright, what else? Let's put a fly mask on you. Now, I've done this, tied or not tied. He'll stand, I just drop it. And he's, I do his feet this way, but I recommend, while I'm thinking about it, when you first start doing this, make sure there's no exits that he has to think about. But he's not so confined he feels trapped. Like he can easily move around here. I got a lot of junk here, but he can easily move around. And sometimes does. But I would do this exactly the same way every time. Not just this fly mask. I'm talking about brushing, doing his feet, everything. Have a routine. If you vary it, down the road sometime you'll be able to vary it. But while he's learning, you just keep adding more. Always go back and review every single step, every single day, because if you don't, you're going to end up with a big hole and a big surprise. So this here, if it was too big, in the beginning, of course it was too big, and I just made it small, rubbed them and everything. And then as he got more used to it, and of course it's only been, like if he has a little trouble here, then just rub and do this. That's all. And he's very good about it. So somehow I think they know that it's helpful. So that's all I do is I just do that. Put it on, and then it took a little while for it to get used to the Velcro sound, and he's pretty good with that. So I'm not going to put a mask on him. It's not that bloody out right now. I don't think they need to have one. I don't think they need to have him. You're such a good boy. So, the other thing I did a lot was his ears. He did seem a little touchy about his ears, and I was kind of relaxed about that. And you just kind of make little circles, and sometimes you can go right off the end, like that, just stroke it, just kind of, I just play with it. and just make a mental note if there's a bad spot. And he's pretty good about, if you get stuck with, like you don't have a halter, and if you approach him right, he, well, this is how I leave him. I'll show you this. I ask him to stay with me, right? And I always do the same thing. Ask him to drop his head. I give him room to drop his head. And my hand's down here, and I never want him to pull away. So I just bring my hands away, and then I leave. Because you never want him to leave you. And he can't see my hands going away. He feels them, but he follows them. So I don't want him ever to pull his head away. So I have my back to him right now for a reason. He's released. He can do what he wants. And then I'm going to just approach him again. I want to approach him again. He's just the best boy. Are we boring you? Are we boring you? And when I have him online, I would do a lot of walking back and forth like this on both sides, and go to his shoulder. Good boy. He's a good boy. A good boy. He had a little adrenaline because I had a little adrenaline. Huh. Now it's all gone. So, I'll show you how I lead him. What I do is I can lead him down here. So what I do is I just say, come on, I've got pressure. If he starts to come, I release the pressure. Come on, follow me. That's a good boy. Thanks. And my arm kind of stops him. And if he's not stopping, I send this hand out and say, whoa, back up. See, energy in front of him. We'll back him up. So now I'm going to say, come on, come with me. I don't want him, I want his shoulder to move out of the way. So I might have to put my hand back to, here, honey. Come. We have if he pushes on you like that, you give him a head shake. He just gave me a little nose push. Come on. Come on. Wait. That's the way. So, I'm putting pressure on the jowl. Come. I rock him if he doesn't move. He moves out, and then I go. Or come on. I lead him like this. But you're probably too short to do that. That's a good way. He says, why are we going around the barn in circles? Well, just because we decided to do that. Because I've actually never done this in the barn. Come over here. So when I open the gate, I'm prepared. I say, wait. Okay, now I can either lead him in or send him in. Wait. Good boy. Okay, go ahead. So, I believe lots of little things where he can be right over and over and over again are way better than anything big. So I would do small pieces, short episodes. I would do this every day because he needs to, if you, like I had a clinic, I didn't touch him for 5 days, and I had to review everything and get back to it. So that's what you're going to have to do. Wish you the best. I've loved having him, and I'm going to miss him bad, but he'll be fine.